Hasbro is not doing too well, is it? As I'm sure you've heard by now, Hasbro is currently in their second round of massive layoffs, as the company's financials are taking hit after hit after hit, as toy sales simply aren't doing very well at all, which is not a surprise in the slightest because, well, here's the thing. Toy sales, in essence, are entirely dependent upon pop culture and the health of pop culture. Back in the day, we used to invent entire entertainment series like Transformers being a perfect example, specifically to sell toys. And back in the day, with old school Star Wars, with Transformers, with Batman at the height of its power, etc., pop culture was doing amazing. Yet now, nobody's lining up to buy the Finn dolls. Nobody's lining up to buy the Andor dolls. And most assuredly, no one is in any hurry whatsoever to purchase Sabine Wren or Ahsoka Tano, as right now we are not in an era where pop culture is being nourished, created, and, well, constantly reinvigorated English with new and cool properties. Instead, we are trying as hard we can to choke and crush the last few vestiges out of the pop culture we had. And you can only survive off the laurels of previous achievements for so long. You can only sell the old school Stormtrooper helmet so many times until people are like, I've got 4 of these, I don't need the 5th. No matter what kind of sticker you add onto it. And this is the reason for why this happened. Because a lot of people have been wondering, why on God's earth would Hasbro do this? Laying off Wizards of the Coast staff is baffling and could lead to a brain drain. Because Wizards of the Coast is, well, one of the remaining actually profitable entities within Hasbro. They're doing quite well still. So why would they lay off people there? Well, because what I just said earlier is true. And what has Wizards of the Coast been doing? That's right, they're the ones stamping out those last few vestiges, those last few precious glowing embers of the pop culture that was, and this is a lovely example of it. My darling little Amazon insider has sent me this piece here, thank you very much sir, which shows a soft pull being initiated for Magic the Gathering: The Lord of the Rings. This complaint is specifically about the Gandalf in Pelennor Field, or the Pelennor Field box set. So, a soft pull is essentially the company going, this is not selling. So, we can't just yonk it, because it would look really, really bad if we did. It would be admitting defeat if we did. So we are going to slowly scale back on it. We're going to stop recommending it. We're going to put it in fewer and fewer sales pitches. We're going to put it in fewer and fewer catalogs, etc. We are simply going to decrease its visibility slowly, ever so slowly, until it's just gone. Why would they do this? I mean, this is The Lord of the Rings, right? This is an enormous property. This is one of the most popular entertainment entities in the world. Well, because of this part here. So specifically about the Gandalf and Pelennor Field, the Pelennor Field thing, they've had a return rate of 11.48%. Meaning that out of every 10 products sold, one of which, slightly more, was returned to them for some reason. Now, it can't possibly be damages. It cannot be. Because if you are making a product and every 10th product is coming off the assembly line ruined, you're gonna notice. There really is no way not to notice. If you have that high of a failure rate, your machinery is borked. That is not a reason for a soft pull. So what could possibly be the reason then? Oh, I don't know. Haradrim Spearmaster. Do you see? Do you see something a pinch off with this Haradrim, this warrior of the south right here? See anything that sticks out to you a little bit, perhaps? No? You can't quite put your finger on it, can you? How about this one? How about that one? Is it too subtle? What if you really just hammer it home for you, huh? Yeah, the the far south Haradrim Spearmaster is not just white, but translucently white, and the king of Rohan is a black guy with long-ass dreadlocks. Yeah, and not to mention, of course, the most famous of them all, Blackagorn. Yeah. This is the reason why. Right here. This is absolutely the reason why, particularly considering that the Pelennor box field was advertised with art like this. You get, okay, you have a normie, because the majority of the audience is still normies, right? They don't really know what's going on. They buy a Lord of the Rings box set for Magic the Gathering, and they're probably then a fan of the Lord of the Rings. Like, oh my god, Lord of the Rings, cool, cool, cool. It's like, look at this, this is old school, awesomeness, I'm gonna buy this. And then you open the pack, and you're faced with this. And you're faced with this, and you're faced with this. If you're a fan of the Lord of the Rings, you're going to look at this and go, hold on a second. What the... This must be a misprint or something. Amazon, take this garbage back. What the hell you mean? The Odin isn't black. The Haradrim aren't white. What? This has nothing to do with Lord of the Rings. And they're going to toss it directly back in Amazon's faces. And as Amazon pays for the returns, and in the cases where open boxes, etc., they're often not going to be able to resell them, or they're going to need to repackage them, this is a significant expense on Amazon's behalf. And if over 10%, nearly 12 of them, are being returned, that is a disaster right there. And that is enough then to initiate a soft pull, where Amazon is like, this just isn't profitable. We can't sell this. It's actually going to ruin us if we do. Simple as. And this is where the Wizards of the Coast things comes in. Because Wizards of the Coast have been pushing this kind of stuff explicitly. This is Wizards of the Coast's doing. This obviously hurts the core audience, because the people who are expected to buy this are going to look at this and go, what the hell? Why are you pushing your racist politics into my goddamn Lord of the Rings? This isn't it. None of this is it. And they're going to return it. And if Hasbro is intelligent, which they are, mind you, all of these companies, they know what's going on. They might be very slow at dealing with it, and they are going to get a lot of conflicting information, but Hasbro know who Hasbro's customers is. They have the data. And if they have the brains to look at that and see, hold on, pop culture is dying. Our toy sales are failing because nobody wants our related toys anymore. We can't sell Star Wars because Star Wars isn't Star Wars anymore. Then they look at Lord of the Rings collaboration, which should have been the shortest form of bank you've ever seen, and they're getting messages from Amazon going, yeah, no, this shit is actually costing us money. Like, we don't want to do this anymore. We're pulling it. They're going to look at who is responsible for that within their own ranks, and they're going to think, if we want to have a business 10 years from now, this is the cancer we need to uproot. Because sure, they are earning money now, but a house divided against itself cannot stand. And a product that is actively to the tune of 10+% returns. Bearing in mind that the vast majority of people won't go through the bother of returning anything in the first place, you are actually diminishing your customer base. You are damaging your customer base by doing this, and very rapidly. Like nearly 12% attrition. Again, these only being the people who actually take the bother to pack it back down again and ship it back to Amazon. They are now your enemies. They're not going to buy anything else from you because they're going to be expecting this and this. This is the kind of damage you cannot do to a brand. And it has been thoroughly demonstrated now through Marvel, through Star Wars, through Magic the Gathering, and through Lord of the Rings. Any company with the wits to see can see if they wish to be a company in 10 years' time, they need to ignore what is earning them money in 10 days' time. Disney is seeing it. Hasbro is seeing it. And now the only question is whether or not they manage to turn the ship in time, as this is the reason why they're laying off people from Wizards of the Coasts. They've identified the poison and they've begun to suck it out. Best of luck with that, Hasbro, because honestly, the destruction of this particular brand of wokeist entertainment can only benefit all of us. Until next time, I've been Arch, thank you all very much for watching, and I do hope to see you all again soon. Have a good day.